All right, Coach, here we are. 8th episode. Only got 3 more of these left, so going to savor these final few weeks with you.
It's going by fast.
It is going by fast. Yeah. Season's gone by fast. I can't believe there's only 3 games left.
It's nuts, man. It's crazy.
This was an emphatic win. I want to know just right out of the chute, how pleased were you with the overall performance? I mean, 58-7 kind of speaks for itself, but I thought your team was really complete in all 3 phases. Just what was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of positives on all 3 phases, right? Defensively, to hold that offense to 0 points really until the fourth quarter, man, that was a great job of executing the game plan, and to have 4 takeaways on defense. I mean, they're just continue to be in the right place and then make the plays when they come to them. And then offensively, we really having about 38 points on offense, which I think Pitt was averaging 20-something points given up and 500-plus yards we had on them. And to see them respond after the first 2 interceptions on the first 2 drives was really great to see. I challenged them at halftime, and they came out second half flying, and it was great. And then special teams-wise, 14 more points, right? We had 7 last week versus USC, and for them to really contribute 14 points to the overall score, that third phase is really making an impact.
I wanted to ask you about the response after the 2 picks, because I thought the offense was moving the ball well.
They were.
The picks were a little uncharacteristic. Maybe there was one that should have been called for a penalty. We won't get into the pass interference. I'll say it so you don't have to worry about getting fined. But what are the conversations like? Like when Sam comes to the sideline, do you talk to the quarterback? Is it all him and Gino and Coach Parker on headset? And what do you see from him? Because he seemed really poised and there was no panic and it was fine after that.
That's Sam Hartman, man. He is so consistent in his approach. He's been through a lot, right? 6 years of this, and trust me, he's thrown 2 interceptions before. And sometimes he kind of looks at you like, I'm good, and I know it, right? I spent a lot of time with Sam, and a lot of times interceptions aren't always the fault of the quarterback.
Sure.
And the very first one, that safety made a heck of a play, and did he pull him or not? It doesn't matter. Like, that's not on Sam Hartman. He put the ball exactly where he needed to be, and I wanted him to continue to be aggressive. And the second one is a little bit on coaches, on him, that we obviously got to do a little bit better job of selling a fake to get that backer to come up a little bit. But, he's so consistent. He comes back out there and throws a big play, and we go down the field and score. And that's what I expect out of Sam Hartman, a 6-year experienced quarterback, and he did a tremendous job.
Defensively, I want to talk about the defense for a while here. Xavier with 2 more picks, but also what stood out to me is he was around the ball a lot otherwise, too. He's making big tackles for you. What are you seeing in his game? The highlights jump out to the everyday fan, but from a coaching staff, what are you seeing from Xavier that's just allowed him to go to the next level in a complete defensive performance?
Yeah, I mean, everybody will point to the interceptions, which are huge, right? And those 2 interceptions that he had on Saturday, he did a good job of catching the ball when it came to him, right?
Right.
But you got to be in the right position, and then you got to make the play. I was so pleased with the way he tracked the ball and tackled. That, to me, is so impressive. He did a great job of closing space and being physical at the point of contact. Now you're seeing a complete safety. He is just continuing to get better and better. Now you're getting the stats, you're getting the takeaways, you're getting all these things that come along with it. But what I see is a guy that is just getting better and better at this position.
The term coverage sack is when I hear a lot of time, right? The DBs are covering and allows you to get a sack. Those picks, though, I haven't heard this a lot. I'm going to try. Maybe it's my own idea. I don't know. Pressure pick.
I like that.
I thought the guys up front created the picks, or they at least were really instrumental in creating the picks. The guys up front, I think, are peaking right now. Riley Mills, Howard Cross. What have you seen from the guys up front? Because we're talking about the secondary because they're taking the ball away, but I feel like it's being caused a lot by the big boys up front.
100%. As you go back and you watch a lot of those takeaways, you'll see as guys affecting the quarterback. Yeah, there's some that are through coverage and pre-snap tells, and Jaden Mickey's was a great job of knowing, hey, if the quarterback looks this way, he's going to throw it to number 2. Because it's happened twice in the game before, twice in that same game. The first one he missed, the second one it was a PBU, and this one he stole it and scored. But a couple of those other interceptions, man, what you see is that the ability for our guys up front to truly affect the quarterback's arm. We teach that, not just to get there and hit the quarterback, but to truly match his hand and affect his throwing arm. That causes a quarterback not to be able to finish through and follow through. And so those are truly pressure picks. And it's a major credit to our D-line.
Pressure picks. We're going with that.
I like that.
I want to talk about Jaden Mickey and his pick six because I was listening to the radio broadcast and give our guy Ryan Harris a shout out. The first one that he missed, I think it went for maybe like a 15-yard gain or something like that. He said, if I'm on the defensive staff, I'm telling him, keep doing that because you know it's coming. Yep. So you football guys are all over it. If I'm watching just and not listening, I'm thinking, oh, come on, you got to make that pick, man. Why are you out of position? So when you see that on the sideline, what is the communication like? And then how satisfying was it to see him rewarded for sticking to the plan you guys had going in?
You know, we always say coach to fix, not the fault, right? And the natural reaction out of you is like, come on, make the play. That's coaching the fault, right? And that the reality is coach to fix. How do you coach to fix is to understanding, hey, we run this same pressure. Know if the quarterback's looking your way, they're going to take 2 to the flat, jump it. Don't try to PBU it, jump it and go make the play. And the second time I said was a PBU. Yeah. The third time ended up being a pick. And so the confidence that gives a young person when you say, hey, this is what you got to do to fix it. This is what you got to do to fix it. Be aggressive. The same thing you tell the offensive coordinator after the first shot that ends up being an interception is take another shot. Be aggressive. Like that gives your players and your coaches confidence to go out and be aggressive. And that's the only way you're going to have success. You cannot play this game passive and afraid to make a mistake. You have to be aggressive. Play this game with velocity, and that's what you see. I
don't want to skip over the Christian Gray one-handed pick. Yeah. That was nice. The secondary, it's kind of amazing they had this performance, and Benjamin Morrison wasn't in the lineup that day.
And Cam went out.
And Cam went out late. That's right. I mean, so it tells you about the depth. I want to ask about Coach Mickens because he's a guy you've known for a long time. That room and Coach Mickens, I saw Jaden. We're going to talk to him later in the show. When I talked to him, he kind of lit up. When I brought up Coach Mickens, what's the impact he's had on the secondary?
Yeah, you know, the number one thing Coach Mix does is a lot. He does a lot of things really well, but he's a great evaluator. I told this story in a press conference that, you know, I wasn't standing on the table for Sauce Gardner at Cincinnati. Right. You know, and Coach Mickens said, this is the guy. And he was right, you know, and he's done that with these guys that we've brought into Notre Dame. And so he can evaluate talent, but then he develops that talent. And the only way you develop talent is through trust and through a connection you have with a coach. And yes, he's played the position, but he also has a way to develop those guys and has that connection. And so he's getting that room to be unselfish, right? Jaden Mickey shows you how good he is when he gets the opportunity. Same thing with Christian Gray. But you have to create a culture of being unselfish and understanding that, hey, take advantage of your opportunities. That's all that matters. When you get the opportunity, take advantage of it. But he brings a schematic element to it too. He is extremely knowledgeable. He's a great developer of corners, but also of the passing game, passing defense, and he's just continuing to just rise in terms of the coaching profession.
One last player I want to ask about, everyone got involved this week. It was fun to see so many different guys, is Steve Angeli. He's a guy that I've seen play in a couple spring games. He's gotten in.
Steve.
He got to really run the show, though, there in the fourth. I thought the throw, the touchdown throw across the body, that is a very hard throw from everyone I've talked to that's played to get your hips around. 6 of 7, 92 yards, touchdown. For a guy he's put in the work. He's done it. He's sat behind guys, and he's getting a chance to put it on film now. What does that mean when you see someone who's put in the work perform like that?
Yeah, he is. And I wish I could say I was surprised. Steve Angeli's a great player. He just, again, is continuing just to get better and better, and he puts the work in terms of his preparation. He knows at some point his number's going to be called, right? And that could be through what happened Saturday or an injury. And we have full confidence in Steve Angeli going in the game and performing the way he did. As you said, that touchdown throw was a lot more difficult than he made it look. And but that's a result of a lot of preparation, great coaching, and a talented individual.
3 games left. Talked about it a little bit earlier. And you're in this 2-game sprint. We talked about it last week. You'll worry about what you got to do in next bye week when next bye week rolls around. You get a chance to go to Clemson. Have you ever been down to Clemson? So it's your first time down there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's the prep like this week? You know it's going to be a hostile environment. Do you guys do anything different to prepare for that, or is it just business as usual when you get ready for a game like this?
You know, I think you always prepare for an away game in terms of on offense, how you want to do the cadence and the snap count. You know, that's to me more than anything is important. But, you know, this challenge this week will be a 1-week sprint to raise our level, right, to the next level. Our performance on Saturday is a result of our preparation. Our performance on Saturday is a result of a lot of guys understanding what to do, why to do it, and how to do it. And there's another level, though, and that's my challenge to them in this week in practice is that we got to find this next level as an individual. Every inner coach and player has to find this next level. And if we do that, this team, the performance on Saturday will be at another level. And there is another level, right? 58-7, doesn't matter. There's another level that this team can go to. And so that's the challenge I'm going to have for myself and our program, and in terms of how we prepare. You know, you can think about how motivated Clemson's going to be now, right? Come off a tough loss. They're 4-4. Then you look at those 4 losses, the one to Duke, you know, really was unique. They turned the ball over a couple times in the red zone. I mean, that game could have went either way. 2 they lost in overtime, and 1. I mean, every statistical stat they pretty much won versus NC State and ended up losing the game by 7 because of a turnover. But they're going to be motivated. Our challenge is to make sure that our practices are better than theirs. Like, that's my challenge to them, and that will take this program and our performance to another level.
I know last week, I'll get you out of here on this, you spent time doing the flag football game. What did you do this weekend? Was this back to business?
Back to business.
You didn't take the kids out back and run through some plays and make sure they had 2 flags on?
Too much film to watch.
Too much film? Okay.
Watched the game Saturday afterwards, ran home, grabbed something to eat. Got a chance to watch a little bit of Ohio State-Wisconsin game, and then Sunday back to preparation, get ready for Clemson. Evaluation of Saturday, and then preparation for Clemson.
I'm excited to hear down the road what you do for the second bye week. We'll talk about it on our last show. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Let you get out of here. Bring a couple players.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.